So it's over. It's officially over. And they say J-Lo is the one who asked for the divorce. And I think it was like on their anniversary or something like that. Look, man, I honestly, like, what she want to do is her business, their business. It really is. But at the end of the day, like, I've been married going on 14 years. We've been together 20 years. And I'm just saying, like, it's kind of hard to understand, like, what she wants. And I ain't putting it all on her. But damn, it just seemed like none of these work. And you would think, like, okay, she went back to Ben. They got back together. Maybe it'll happen this time. Nope. All right, we're going to check this video out on Teach Spill. I'll leave it in the description so you guys can check out more and even subscribe. We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Well, it looks like the rumors about Jennifer heading for divorce unfortunately turned out to be very true. Jennifer Lopez just filed for divorce yesterday, and we have a lot to talk about. It's a mess, so let's get into it. This year has definitely not been J-Lo's year. From the backlash over her self-funded multi-installment media project to constant speculation surrounding her marriage to Ben Affleck.
Now, I'm not one to gossip, but here it goes. So I just opened up my email, and then, of course, there's like an email from People Magazine, right? And it's titled, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez not photographed together publicly for 47 days amid reports of tension.
Things have only gotten worse because it's now been confirmed that the rumors were very much true and Jennifer is no more. Last night, news broke that J-Lo herself actually filed for divorce yesterday, which also just so happened to be her 2-year wedding anniversary with Ben. In August of 2022, J-Lo and Ben had this massive wedding in Georgia, and now exactly 2 years later, it's official.
Damn, they was married. That was 2 years? And again, I don't know if she's going to bring this up, but, you know, a lot of people were saying maybe it has something to do, even though she is the one who divorced him, maybe it has something to do with the rumors of Diddy tapes that he may have with J-Lo. Rumor.
Over. TMZ had the story, and they said Jennifer actually filed by herself without a lawyer.
Damn.
They wrote, J-Lo filed legal documents Tuesday in LA County Superior Court, but they were not filed by a lawyer. Jennifer filed pro per, meaning by herself and without an attorney.
She's a pro.
So it looks like J-Lo isn't trying to waste any more money on this divorce. Maybe that means her and Ben are ending on good terms, and for her sake, I hope that is the case because it's also being reported that they may not.
I mean, they got their own money. Hell, she done did this so many times. She was like, I'll figure it out. I don't need a lawyer.
Have a prenup in place. TMZ wrote, now here's the real shocker. J-Lo does not say in her documents whether there's a prenup, and sources with knowledge tell TMZ there is indeed no prenuptial agreement. That would mean whatever earnings or profit Ben and Jen made during their nearly 2 years of marriage is community property. For instance, since they tied the knot, Ben starred in Air and Hypnotic and produced The Instigators. He also just wrapped filming on The Accountant 2 a few days ago. As for J-Lo during their marriage, she had Shotgun Wedding, The Mother, This Is Me Now, and Atlas. And a lot of people, including myself, were pretty shocked to hear that they possibly didn't have a prenup in place going into this marriage.
No prenup is certifiably insane.
But on the other hand, some comments have been pointing out that because both Ben and J-Lo are successful on their own and they both make very good money, maybe both of them knew money would never be a real issue between them, and they just want to cut their losses and move on in the least messy way possible. One person wrote, "When you marry someone with equal financial standing and integrity, you won't squabble about something that you didn't work for." And we've already seen them actively working on splitting up whatever assets they shared together. Back in July, it was revealed that they listed their 12-bedroom, 24-bathroom mansion for sale publicly for $68 million. They only just purchased this house last year for a bit over $60 million, so by the time you add in like closing costs and taxes, I'm sure they're losing out on a lot of money here. And I also will say, even though this news is shocking, it was pretty much expected to happen. For months now, there have been rumors about them having issues, them staying in different houses. JLo was seen still wearing her ring while Ben was without his. JLo had also liked this post about unhealthy relationships on Instagram. And then there was the shocking news about her canceling her tour. If you guys were paying attention to all the drama with JLo from a few months ago, you would know that her tour was a mess. The seats were so expensive, they weren't selling. She had to cancel full cities that just weren't selling, which ultimately led to the cancellation of the tour altogether. At first, people assumed that she canceled over the lack of ticket sales, but once she released her statement, it seemed like maybe it was actually over family issues. She said, "Representatives for Live Nation announced today that the Jennifer Lopez US Summer 2024 tour, This Is Me Live, is canceled, citing Jennifer is taking time off to be with her children, family, and close friends." And then Jennifer said, "I am completely heartsick and devastated about letting you down. Please know that I wouldn't do this if I didn't feel that it was absolutely necessary. I promise I will make it up to you and we will all be together again. I love you all so much. Until next time." And that was right at the end of May. And according to JLo's divorce filings, she's been separated from Ben since April 26. She probably just realized that there was no way she could be in the public eye doing this big tour and putting on a show every single night, all while dealing with a divorce. JLo has been very open about how much her first split from Ben hurt her.
So can you imagine how it would be and feel to reflect on this album if there was no happy ending?
Once we called off that wedding 20 years ago, it was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I honestly felt like I was gonna die. And it sent me on a spiral for...
So hearing her say that, and hearing like that feeling that she's talking about, it's like, why put yourself through it again? Why? Like, who went to who? Did Ben, I forgot, did Ben reach out to her, like, let's do this again? Did she reach out to him? Let's give it another shot. Because, like, if she felt that way, then what is she feeling now? Even though she's the one who called it off. I don't know.
The next 18 years where I just was, couldn't get it right. But now, 20 years later, it does have a happy ending.
It does.
It has the most, would never happen in Hollywood ending. It was painful. It was a part of me then that I had to put away to kind of move on and survive. It was a survival tactic for sure.
And that wasn't even a divorce. The fact that they actually got married this time around is sad. And not to mention, JLo just put on the biggest public display of affection. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It just hit me. They weren't even married before.
If it was more PDA for herself or for Ben, but it was called This Is Me Now, followed by the documentary called The Greatest Love Story Never Told, and it was supposed to be all about her love story with Ben.
I've been married 4 times now.
Man.
I used to be terrified to be alone. I didn't know what I was going to do by myself. I have decided to tell my story and I've never shared with anybody in the world.
During the documentary, there was this one scene where JLo is like passing out this book full of love letters that Ben had written her over the years, and she's openly showing everyone and letting them read through them, and then it cuts to Ben being like, what?
On that first day, I showed everybody this book. This book is a book that Ben gave me on our first Christmas back together. It is every letter and every email that we wrote to each other from 20 years ago and today. It became like our Bible, and we just left it there in the studio, and people would thumb through it. They're like, can we look at it? I was like, look at it.
You've been showing all the musicians all the letters that,
And a lot of people think that this was the beginning of the end for Bennifer. One person said, I think the last straw for him was her documentary putting their private love notes and business out there. He's private, she's not. I knew after that documentary, it was over. I think he's obviously a...
It's like, yeah, you don't want to run this past me, you know, because a lot of people don't like putting their feelings or being vulnerable, you know, especially men. You know, it's this thing. I don't mind doing it, but you know, a lot, not all, but a lot of men don't like showing their feelings like that because a lot of people will look at them as being weak, you know. So, yeah, I feel like she should have ran that by him. You know, it's like a diary almost. Like, would you show the world your diary?
very private person, and she wanted all their deeply personal details made into entertainment for the masses. I think they love each other, but are very different people.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think that's probably the biggest reason. Ben has always been super private. You can tell he hates all the attention, whereas JLo likes putting everything out there, and that's just not him. According to TMZ, JLo also waived spousal support, and she's asking the judge to do the same with Ben. They also reported that Ben has already bought a new house on his own, and JLo is currently looking. So far, JLo hasn't put out any statement, but I'm sure something is coming. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below.
Married 4 times. Like, it just gets to a point where you're going to say, like, you know, the next relationship she gets in, people are probably going to be like, this ain't going to work. It just ain't going to work. People aren't going to have faith in it because, like I said, we don't know all the ins and outs, what goes on behind closed doors. You know, I just seen those. I met J-Lo one time in my whole life, and it was her and Ben Affleck way back in the day when I was working at the Staples Center. It was quick, it was fast. That was it. I didn't get nothing from that. But I'm saying there are a lot of people saying that she's a horrible person. You know, a lot of times people get up on that pedestal. You got to remember where she came from. You know, she was a fly girl, one of the dancers on In Living Color. And, you know, when you get put up, like when she did that Selena movie, that really, like, you know, took her career took off after that. But when you're put up on that pedestal, you either gonna put your hand out and pull up people, or you're gonna be up there looking down at people. And they see she's very rude, so yeah. But hey, comment below. Appreciate you guys coming over and watching, man. Peace out.